In this episode of How It's Assembled, we're going to cover how to install an LS harmonic balancer using an ARP fastener. In order to effectively install the balancer, the crank must be held in place. He previously installed the flywheel. This allows him to secure the crank with an LS flywheel locking tool. He installs the tool with the provided bolts where the starter would be installed. He ensures the teeth are aligned for proper engagement. Then he tightens the bolts firmly. He cleans the work area of debris with brake clean and a rag. He now begins the tedious process of carefully applying ultra-gray silicone only on the snout of the crank and inner lip of the balancer. The ARP instructions do not cover sealing for this bolt. The ARP instructions just mentioned adding ARP lubricant on the threads and under the bolt, but do not mention anything about between the bottom of the ARP bolt and washer and the snout of the crank. The engine can leak from there, especially if the snout and balancer have been pinned for a supercharger. The plan is to take up most of the space between under the washer and the front of the snout. He continues adding the gray RTV to this end. He applies the ARP lubricant under the flange of the ARP crank bolt and smears it evenly to cover the flange surface. Then he applies the ARP grease to the threads of the bolt and smears it evenly. He then installs the ARP washer over the bolt and installs the bolt-washer combo into the crank snout. Reminder: the crank needs to be secured in place before the balancer can be tightened. He torques the crank bolt to 235 foot-pounds or 318.6 Newton meters. The RTV needs 24 hours to fully cure. After that, the crank is installed and ready for use. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.